Okay,
Okay dulu.
cubaan. Okay. Live di YouTube bagaimana? Okay. Macam mana? Test.
Dekat Google Meet should be okay.
Google Meet setakat ni okay kan Charles? Boleh je dengar.
YouTube pun dah ada suara dah.
YouTube dah ada suara?
Yo, test.
Okay, cun. Terbaiklah moderator. Bagus.
Test.
Okay, boleh dengar.
Alright, suara Azri pun boleh dengar.
Okay, baik. Okay, baik.
Suara? Ni okay kan Charles? Boleh je dengar.
YouTube pun dah ada suara dah. Hello Azik, kau memang mute kah?
Yes, I'm on mute at the moment. Kita dah boleh start ke Charles?
Kita tunggu student lain masuk dulu.
Okay, hai, selamat datang semua. Okay, kita tunggu sebentar ya, sementara guest kita sampai. Assalamualaikum. Hello and welcome to our webinar Digital Interview Preparation and Networking by our guest speaker, Public Relations and Event Executive from Graduan, Miss Amalina Safia Azhar. My name is Muhammad Haziq bin Azhar, representing EE 241C7B, will be your host for today. This webinar is in partnership with the class EE 241S7B and EE 241C7B. This event is also supported by the Utakiam Sedia Berhad and the Pengajian Kejuruteraan Elektrik, PKE. Thank you for joining us. Please be patient until our guests arrive. Assalamualaikum and hello for all our guests. This event will begin shortly in 5 minutes.
Assalamualaikum
Please
and
have
hello for all
patience.
our guests.
This event will begin shortly in 5 minutes.
Assalamualaikum
Please
and
have
hello for all
patience.
our guests.
This event will begin shortly in 5 minutes. Testing. For now, let me introduce you guys to our guest speaker for today from Graduan. Amalina Safia Azhar is the Public Relations and Event Executive in Graduan. She holds a Bachelor degree of Creative Arts and Industry Management from UiTM Puncak Perdana. As part of Graduan's Public Relations and Event Department, Amalina plays a role not limited to managing career engagements in local university, but also connecting with top employers in bridging talent with the industry. Pardon me. In the Malaysian Career Fair 2019 held in London, United Kingdom, Amalina supported the managing of the event from promotions to logistic and venue arrangement. With experience in public relations, strong rapport and internship background in Yogyakarta, Amalina is proficient at building and maintaining professional relationships with different parties, such as talent, organizations, university representatives, namely career counselors, as well as university clubs and societies. With solid communication skills and outgoing personality, Amalina also has various experience giving career talks in multiple programs in UiTM Shah Alam, UiTM Puncak Alam, University Malaya, International Islamic University Malaysia, UKM, MMU, Segi University, First City University College, Asia Pacific University, and University Amikom, Yogyakarta. For this evening, I would like to invite Azri Fidaus for doa recital.
Okay, test. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabbihi ajma'in. Allahumma innaka khalqul azim, innaka sami'un alim, innaka ghafurur rahim, innaka rabbul arsyil azim, innaka barrul jawadul karim. Ya Allah, Engkaulah yang mempunyai segala kepujian, Engkaulah yang berhak menerima segala kepujian, Engkaulah yang berhak menerima segala kesyukuran, Engkaulah yang memiliki segala pemerintah, di tangan Engkaulah segala kebajikan, kepada Engkaulah kami segala urusan. Allahumma ya Karim, ya Rahim, cucurilah rahmat dan rahimu ke atas majlis Graduan Talk yang diadakan pada hari ini. Berkatilah ia dari awal hingga akhir. Ya fa'lul lima yuhid. Kami juga memohon perlindunganmu dari segala perkara yang boleh mencacat celakan majlis kami dan daripada segala perkara yang melalaikan kami dari perbuatan taat kepadamu. Kepadamu juga kami serah segala urusan kami. Rabbana alaika tawakkalna wa alaika anabna wa alaikal masir. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار صلى الله على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you, Mr. Aziz Fidos, for the doa. In addition, in collaboration with Nestle Malaysia, joining us is Miss Priya. And I would like to use this opportunity to give our thanks to Graduan, as well as Nestle Malaysia, for joining us this evening. Without further ado, I would like to welcome Miss Amalina to give her insights on digital interview preparation and networking. Miss Amalina, you may have the floor.
Alright, Assalamualaikum. Thank you so much, Haziq. Can you guys hear me clearly? Boleh dengar tak?
Boleh.
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 Alright, hi semua orang.
Hai.
Halo.
Yes, energetic. Good afternoon, I would say. Thank you so much for Haziq and also for the committee members yang arrange. I know Charles, Afina, Arif and dan juga Dr. Muhammad Fahmi. Thank you so much to arranging this session. And untuk today, I akan share with you guys some insights yang you guys might not know about nowadays digital interview and also how can you network with the employers. Okay. My name is Amalina. I think you guys dah tahu pasal introduction tu. And I just want to clarify that today's session, I akan buat sangat santai, casual, but hopefully you guys akan selesa untuk tanya any questions that you have, any inquiries about career related, you boleh tanya dekat I. Is either you can, just tanya dekat audio or you nak tanya dekat chat box, that should be fine as well, okay? Alright, so let's just move forward because at 3:30 Nestle will be joining. Okay, so now I'm talking about video interview, digital interview. Okay, so now because of the pandemic, as you can see, I'm working from home and also other companies as well. Jadi graduates perlu tahu bila sekarang with all the pandemics happen, yes, I would not lie that opportunities kepada fresh graduate is a little bit I wouldn't say berkurang, tapi it's a little bit challenging untuk you guys because the hiring process is longer. Selalunya kalau you apply for jobs dalam masa 2 minggu, 3 minggu, you akan dapat feedback untuk you is either you got accepted for the interview session ataupun you tak dapat. Okay, tetapi because of this pandemic happen, everyone bekerja daripada rumah, mostly yang bekerja pada rumah, dia membuatkan di mana proses hiring proses tu kadang-kadang ada yang ambil masa sampai 2 bulan. Okay, so dekat situ yang graduates punya gap untuk mencari bekerja sangatlah besar. Okay, alright. And then some of the things that you might have to know about digital interview it is, yes, it takes place at your place. Okay, you akan buat interview tu dekat rumah you sendiri, tetapi the screening process ataupun kriteria yang this interviewer nak tanya adalah kriteria yang sama macam mana you pergi physical interview. Okay, alright, so I'm going to share some slides. So kita akan go through the slides. So if let's say you guys have any questions, you can just ask me. Okay. Kejap eh. One second. Kejap my Google Meet tak boleh share slide. One second eh. Okay, can you guys see the slides? Boleh dapat tak?
Boleh.
Boleh.
Okay, good. Alright, so we move forward with digital interview. Okay, so basically digital interview dia ada dua jenis. It's either for you to have the interview macam sekarang, maksudnya dia terjadi apabila secara langsung. Maksudnya I tanya soalan dan you jawab. So dia sebagai spontan. Tetapi ada juga digital interview di mana you will get the questions, maksudnya company akan bagi soalan, maybe dalam 5-6 soalan, dan you have to record yourself answering the question dan juga hantarkan you punya jawapan kepada the employers. So dia work two ways lah. Satu macam sekarang you attend Google Meet ke Skype ke macam tu. Another one is for you to answer the questions that the company have sent to you. Okay? Alright, next, what is digital interview? Alright, so digital interview is a process where applicants receive a series of questions and then you have to record yourself untuk the hiring manager to view later. Alright, okay, so digital interview does not involve the real-time video interview. Video interview tu adalah secara berhadapan, maksudnya saya tanya awak jawab secara live, tapi digital interview adalah di mana dia bagi soalan dan you jawab. Alright? Okay. Of course, benefit of this kind of interview is actually flexible. So it's not only that hiring teams have the flexibility untuk review punya interview and also to check whether mana schedule yang terbaik, tetapi you guys can also be able to complete the interview with regards you punya location ataupun anytime lah, sebab you boleh record yourself and you boleh jawab. Okay? And then next, quality. Okay, so basically digital interview, it creates more consistent and structured interview format that leads to improved hiring outcome. Okay, this is because to be honest, in workplace punya industry, people tend to judge you based on your orang kata apa, first impression. Okay, so basically kalau if let's say you go to physically you go to the place, you pergi interview berjalan secara secara peribadi, kadang-kadangnya awak akan dijudge by the employers. Tetapi kalau digital interview, they cannot see you, they can just answer you, they can just actually assess you based on your answer. So the quality tu lebih bagus lah. Alright, next, quick response. One of many reasons why organizations now choose to do digital and video interview, because it's actually reduce time to hire by speeding up the screening process. Maksudnya dekat sini, kalau dia buat secara online, dia boleh interview seramai mana yang mampulah. Maksudnya dalam sehari you boleh interview dalam 7 hingga 10 orang. Tetapi if let's say you go physically to the office, maybe dalam sehari you just boleh interview 3 orang dan sebagainya. Okay? Alright, next, how do you prepare for a digital interview? Okay, number one, before interview, you have to make sure that your audio, video, internet is working. Alright, this is the important reason kenapa you perlu make sure that you have a good connection internet. Alright, so yesterday and also last week, I had the sessions with few universities di mana I and also my colleague, we had to interview hundreds of candidates untuk mereka pergi ke jobs and also to internship placement. So whether to see diorang ready, kamu pelajar semua ready atau tak. So basically, one of the biggest factor that turns the interviewer off, maksudnya dekat situ kita tak suka, bagi I personally, I rasa serabut, I don't like it if let's say the candidate have a bad internet connection. Okay. So I understand, like we all understand that some places is hard for you to get a proper internet ataupun macam line tak cantik ke apa kan, macam tu. But if let's say you know that you will have digital interview later, you tahu you have to attend this kind of interview, you will have to find a place ataupun cari penyelesaian to get a better internet connection. Because why? each of the interviewer, maksudnya kalau I recruiter, each of the interviewer, they will have their own specific time. Contohnya I nak interview candidate A, I will have only certain amount of time, contohnya 30 minit ataupun 40 minit untuk interview satu candidate. Okay, so sekiranya you punya slot dalam 30 minit tu, you bazirkan masa 20 minit ataupun 10 minit just to like macam, hello, hi, can you hear me, can you hear me, bazirkan masa tu to check the connection, is such a turn off because you cannot show your potential fully. Okay, so be very mindful that good internet connection is fine, and also you have to make sure that your video is perfect, your audio is perfect, and bila you go to the virtual interview, please switch on your video and also mute your audio if you are not speaking. Okay. Alright, next, pick a distraction-free background with good lighting. Yes, this is very important as well because that will shows your personality. If let's say you punya background you macam bersepah ke apa, itu orang kata apa, it's such a turn off lah because they can judge you based something that is not on your full potential. Okay, and then now kalau you pergi Google Meet dan sebagainya, you boleh tukar you punya virtual background, so it shouldn't be a problem. Alright, next, dress appropriately. Okay, ini sangat penting before when you go into digital interview, walaupun you just interview in your laptop or in your phone, you have to dress appropriately. Pakai kemeja for gentlemen, pakai kemeja, pakai tie, and also pakai you punya blazer if possible. Okay, if you think that blazer you tak selesa pakai blazer, at least pakai kemeja and pakai tie. You have to look ready. You have to look as in you are going for a real interview session. Okay, for ladies, pakai pakaian kemas, and also make sure that you dress up well, pakai yang formal lah. Okay, next, practice timing yourself answering questions. So dekat sini, bila you nak jawab the soalan ataupun soalan daripada interviewer, make sure that you do some research on what are the textbook questions yang employer akan tanya. Okay, so these are the questions that I'm going to share with you. The first question usually employer akan tanya, okay, yang ni you boleh take note. The first question yang employer akan tanya, the first one usually macam, what can you offer to my company? Okay, so yang pertama sekali, what can you offer to my company? What can you offer to? You can actually sell your skill and you boleh sell you punya strength. Okay, and then the next question usually employer akan tanya, what is your strength and weaknesses? So benda ni memang textbook dia akan tanyalah. Okay, first, what can you offer? Second, what is your strength and weaknesses? Number 3, soalan yang interview akan InsyaAllah they will ask you. The next one, why you choose this company or what makes you apply for this position. Okay, so you kena tahulah all the jawapan. Okay, number 4, dia akan tanya, how do you describe your characteristic to fit well into this team? Okay, sebab most of the job bila you pergi, you akan bekerja secara berkumpulan, you will have your own department. So these employers sometimes they don't actually hire by the grade. Okay, it's either you have 4 flat ke dan sebagainya, they don't look at that, but they look at your skill and they look on how you can actually fit perfectly into the position. Alright, okay. Next, practice speaking on cameras so you can adjust your posture and angle. So you akan tahu like macam how to, where to look, where not to look dan sebagainya. Alright. Okay, next, during interview. Alright, during interview, maintain eye contact with the camera. Maksudnya you look at the camera when you are answering question. Okay, and then this is the next thing that I akan highlight supaya student tak buat. It's such a turn off bila I ask candidate, please introduce yourself. Can you please introduce yourself to me? You tend to read whatever that you have, you put dekat you punya notes on your laptop. So you tend to baca because maybe you tengah baca daripada resume you. Okay, that's such a turn off. And for the interviewer, for the recruiter, they would say you are cheating. They would say you are unable to articulate about yourself. They would say you don't have confidence. Just don't do that. Okay, you supposed to be able to to describe about yourself, you are supposed to know your own strength and you are supposed to know why did you apply for that position. You patut tahu benda tu semua, okay? But I also understand some of the candidate, diorang cakap they want to refer to the notes because they want to take care of the grammatical error, macam tak nak nampak salah dan sebagainya. But to be honest, the employers, they don't care about your grammar. They don't care if, let's say, you can speak or broken English or not, because your job specifically is more to technical. They care about your technical skill mostly, okay? You are not going to customer service punya position, and you are not going to language punya position. You are more into technical. So if, let's say, there's a little bit of broken English or wrong grammar here and there, that should be fine. Okay, next, ensure the camera is angled properly. Keeping slightly above eye level is the best, alright? And then speak clearly and avoid pausing or stuttering. Okay, sekiranya semasa interview you couldn't answer the questions, you can say to the employer, contohnya kalau employer tu tanya, alright, Malina, what is your opinion on sekian. But then suddenly you macam ada point blank, something blocked on your mind and you couldn't answer. So what can you do is you can take a breath and you can kata, can you give me some moment because I need to think about the answer, alright? So basically, politely say that if, let's say, you need some time to think, okay? Tapi jangan diam, jangan macam alamak apa ya. So don't do that, alright? It's such a turn off. It shows that you are not ready to go for interview, okay? Last but not least, keep it natural, show off your personality. When you go for the interview session, it doesn't mean that you kena pergi interview session tu just to talk about your academic qualification, just to talk about your work experience. Sometimes the employer, they want to see your personality. They want to see what's more than just a piece of resume, because everything that you have said, you have answered the employer, sebenarnya semua benda tu dah tertulis dekat you punya resume. So what else, is there something else from you that the employer has to know, is basically your personality. Alright, next, after interview session, what you can do, you can send a follow-up email to thank the interviewer and also thanking them about their time and opportunity. And after that, feel free to call and send additional follow-up to ask where you stand and bila you akan notified. So usually after each of the interview session, you boleh hantar the email to thank them, untuk cakap terima kasih right away. Okay, send, bagi tahu right away, and after 3 days ataupun after 3 days to a week, you boleh hantar another email to follow up where do you stand. Okay, so tanya mereka where do you stand and bila you boleh expect a reply. Okay, so you can just ask that to the employer if, let's say, you sudah dipanggil interview and you dah attend that interview. Alright, okay. Okay, so here's some tips to succeed in digital interview. Tadi I just share macam mana you can carry yourself. So sekarang ni, how can you actually succeed moving forward? Alright, number one, do your research. Okay, it's more than important for you untuk buat you punya research mengenai company apa yang you apply for. Okay, learn about their products, understand the company culture, and you can research who you will be working under. Maksudnya dekat sini, you can go to LinkedIn. Contohnya, you nak bekerja dekat company Graduan, contoh ya. You pergi LinkedIn and you cari Graduan. You just type Graduan and then you boleh select people. People tu maksudnya orang yang bekerja di bawah company Graduan. And then you can see one by one, if let's say the staff have LinkedIn profile, you can see one by one siapa yang bekerja at that certain department. Okay, so do your research. You have to know especially what the companies are doing, and then you have to know what are their products, company culture dia macam mana, is it fit to your personality. So it's important for you to do your research. Okay, next, rehearse and practice. Keep it in your mind, digital interview selalunya structured interview. Maksudnya soalan yang ditanya kepada kandidat A lebih kurang soalan yang sama ditanya kepada kandidat B. Sebenarnya sama sahaja. Tetapi cuma membezakan flow interview tu, is it a very boring flow ataupun is it very interesting flow, is just the way macam mana candidate tu menjawab soalan. Jadi kalau you jawab, cara you jawab tu macam very bagus, very memberi, okay, so dia akan lagi berkembang, okay. Lagi memberi tu maksud I, when the interviewer ask you questions, you have to answer dengan penuh semangat and you have to answer the question seperti you berminat, okay. Kalau contoh ditanya, awak dah makan ke? Dah. So kalau you just jawab sepatah-sepatah, conversation tu dekat situ je. But if let's say dia tanya, have you eaten? You cakap, yeah, I have eaten. I had nasi and chicken soup just now. How about you? So kalau you menjawab sebegitu, flow interview you akan lagi cantik lah, okay. So basically, rehearse and practice and try yourself to express you punya thoughts and try yourself to articulate you punya words in a proper way, alright? Okay, and also please practice answering questions to most common interview questions seperti recent changes, innovation, news, current situations and everything, okay? Next, trick out your tag. It is very important for you to make a good impression based on your preparation. Hence, you have to make sure that you punya audio, video and also you punya devices are working properly. Okay. Next, dress appropriately. Maksudnya dekat sini, you have macam I cakap tadi, you have to wear and you have to be look ready macam mana you pergi normal interview, the usual interview. Alright, so next, answer with enthusiasm. Speaking passionately and with enthusiasm shows your interest in the company and makes you look more appealing for the prospect. So maksudnya dekat sini, kalau you nak jawab soalan, answer dengan penuh confident, dengan penuh keyakinan dan answer seperti you berminat. Seperti that's your passion, that's what you going into. Because kalau you macam, saya rasa I think because I apply to this job because I want to leverage my skill. Kalau you jawab macam tu, you tak buat eye contact dan sebagainya, kalau I as an interviewer, I think that you are not interested, you are not hungry enough for the position. Alright? Alright. Okay, next. Sebelum we go to the networking punya session, these are the things that my usual feedback on how when I interview students. So this would be my usual feedback about the situation that some of you guys can learn for it. Okay. So the common mistake. Apa common mistake yang candidate selalu buat? Number satu is common mistake about the situation that some of you guys can learn to be heard. Maksudnya dekat sini, kalau the interviewer you tanya apa-apa soalan, okay, dia tanya you any kind of questions, you answer because you jawab soalan itu because you want to make the impression, you want to lock the job. Okay, itu perkara yang yes, semua orang nak lock the job, tapi what is the most important thing is actually when you answer the questions, you must listen to be heard. Maksudnya employer tu mereka nak didengari. So maksud you kena bagi jawapan di mana you boleh buka diorang punya minda, you boleh buka diorang punya mindset that this candidate boleh pergi jauh. Okay, so this employer mereka nak didengari. Okay, so number two, the common questions that the candidate always does is actually being too overconfident. Okay, dia dekat sini macam line dia is either being confident and also being rude. Okay, sometimes if let's say you want to be friendly, you want to be confident, then that's totally okay because it shows that you have the, orang kata apa, you have the push factor untuk grab something. So that's totally fine. But it is forced into the rude bila you bersuarakan pendapat you menyuarakan pendapat you without thinking that this person, interviewer itu actually holds the positions that they are offering for you. Maksudnya dekat situ position yang you nak tu hanya mereka je boleh bagi, but you are not being attentive and you are not being careful with your choice of word. Okay, so if let's say you think that you can actually express your message well in bahasa Melayu, sila jawab dengan bahasa Melayu supaya awak tidak disalah ertikan. Okay, but sekiranya you are not so good in English but you want to try but you are not sure what does it mean, so you jangan go for it because awak maybe akan disalahertikan dengan something that you are not meant. Okay, something yang you tak bermaksud pun. Okay, so if let's say you want to articulate any message, make sure that you can articulate the message properly with regards any language yang you ada. Okay, so biasanya candidate, I understand sometimes they want to impress, but if they don't know where is the line between want to impress and also being rude. Okay. The next thing, tadi I rasa nombor 1 tadi I cakap pasal you have to listen to be heard. Number 2 is some candidates they tend to be overconfident. Number 3, the most of the kesalahan yang candidate selalu buat, yang I rasa for me is a major turn off, I rasa I dah cakap tadi dekat slide, apabila you menjawab soalan, you Google ataupun you baca you punya pointer. Okay, itu sangatlah tak, for me macam it's very not proper, okay. It's very rude in fact because I am talking to you, I want to listen from you, but you are getting or you are sending me the information that I can get it by myself. I can get it by looking at your resume and I can get it by Google. Okay, just don't do that, alright? Don't cheat, don't do that, alright? The next thing in digital interview that the students always, I think bukan buat salah lah, macam always sambil lewa, di mana mereka merasakan sekiranya virtual interview ini dia tidaklah seperti penting macam mana you go to physical interview. So macam mana tak penting tu in the terms that you don't care about your setting and you do not care about timing, and you do not care to take this seriously by just, I can just say how candidate take it seriously or not by just seeing you on how you answering some questions, okay? And also bila you cannot answer questions, you tend to macam soalan lain boleh tak? Yes, I receive that kind of experience di mana bila I tanya candidate but then dia tak boleh jawab, she can tell me boleh tak tanya soalan lain. So for me that's actually is very unprepared lah for you to do that because you are supposed, you are there for me to give you something. So it's better for you to be prepared in order for you to get something, okay? Alright, so any questions mengenai digital interview or interview lah basically, any questions? If let's say you guys have any question, please ask in the chat box. I boleh go through some of the questions and then before we go to the networking punya topic. Ada soalan tak apa-apa? You can just ask the question now.
Alright, saya ada soalan.
Okay, hi Charles, yes.
Since we are doing interviews at home mostly kan, what if there is unexpected disturbance macam blackout ke ataupun relatif masuk dalam bilik ke, contohnya terganggu lah the interview.
Faham? Alright, okay. So basically, if let's say you have the interview session, digital interview session, thank you. I think that's a very good answer, good question. Okay, number 1 is for you to always be prepared ataupun you have to tanya awal-awal the recruiter ataupun the interviewer punya phone number. Okay, you tanya awal-awal that phone number, but that phone number is not for you to WhatsApp sesuka hati, it's not for you to call sesuka hati. But if let's say like Charles said, suddenly things happen, things go blackout. So suddenly you punya rumah blackout ataupun macam bad things happen, ada drilling ke dan sebagainya, internet connection terputus, you can just grab your phone really quick and you can give a call. Hi, my name is Charles. I'm the candidate that's supposed to have a session with you later at 3 p.m. Unfortunately, suddenly my rumah kena blackout. Would you be so kind to give me 10 minutes to sort this out, or you can schedule it later? Okay, so you can do that. Okay, if let's say something emergency happen. But if let's say you had something macam disturbance, suddenly you punya siblings masuk bilik, suddenly kucing you datang dan sebagainya tu, is such a unmature thing, unprepared I would say, because if let's say you know that you have an interview late one day, macam hari Sabtu pukul 3 petang, contoh lah, if let's say you know that thing is going to happen, you should let you punya surrounding knows that you are having interview. Please do not disturb for a while. Okay, you should know that. So you have to be prepared. Okay. Alright. Thank you Chas for the questions. Okay, next. Ada apa-apa soalan lagi tak?
Alright, before that, kejap ya. I would like to remind the students or the attendants here in our session that if there is, since Google Meet have a limit of 100%, I've noticed. So if there is someone that wants to join our session and that could not join, there is a YouTube link in the chat I've posted. So you can share the link to your friends and to your colleagues so that they can join our session for today. Thank you.
Okay. Alright, so next question from Nur Safika. I appreciate if let's say we proceed with questions dulu eh. Alright, okay, next. Question for Nur Shafika. What happened if there's internet connection problem during the interview? Are we going to fail? Are we going to fail to get the job? Alright, so basically, if let's say you know that you are having difficulty with internet, usually you punya house line tak berapa clear, you don't have wifi dan sebagainya, you can always plan. You go to Starbucks ke, ataupun you can always plan to buy extra you punya data, ataupun you pergi get the modem or dan sebagainya, you go to library ataupun you go anywhere that has internet connection. You have to plan that, okay? If let's say you always know that your internet is not working on the day, alright? So if let's say your internet connection problem during the interview, I'm not saying that you are failed to get the job, but I'm saying you are creating impression towards the employer. Kalau ada hiring manager yang penyabar, yang macam boleh faham, dia akan you akan ada luck lah. But normally, to be honest, for me, if let's say I recruiter, I have to screen hundreds of candidate dalam masa 2-3 hari. I don't have time kepada orang yang connection dia tak berapa okay, because there's always hundreds of others that hungry for the opportunities. Okay, so if let's say you miss the train, you will have to find a way to catch up. Alright? Okay, any question? Alright, okay, bagus. Alif Imran soalan panjang. Alright, Assalamualaikum. Waalaikumsalam Alif. How to face employer when they tend to provoke you as a fresh graduate? As we fresh graduate, give answer as I did work with my parents' company. Okay, so the first question is how to face employer if let's say they provoke you as a fresh graduate, and also for you to only have experience working with your parents' company. Alright, number one, as the etiquette of the recruiter, we shouldn't provoke any talent or any candidate to, with regards you are fresh graduate, you have experience or you don't have experience. Alright, so basically, if let's say you are in that kind of messy situation, what you can do is, sekiranya macam the punya employer tu macam looking down at you, what you can do is, you akan cakap, contohnya ya, hi, thank you for your question, Miss Fatin. Alright, so basically I understand as a fresh graduate, I don't have much opportunity and experience as you are expecting. However, if you give me the chance or you give me the opportunity for me to learn and to grow at your company, I believe I could be the best asset. You cakap macam tu. So whatever yang kalau if let's say dia bagi you racun, you bagi balik bunga. Macam tu. So you have to be positive all the time. So if let's say they are being hard on you, you can say something like macam, yeah, I understand that as a fresh graduate, I have lack of experience. Yep, that is because I just graduated recently. However, I am here eager to learn and I am here eager to contribute to the company if I am given the opportunity. So kalau you jawab macam tu, dia akan, if I lah, kalau I'm the bad person, I akan malu sendiri because this candidate, they're very hungry. Kenapa? Why should I treat them back? Okay? And then as the questions from the parents company, it doesn't matter if let's say you work with your parents company or if let's say you are now doing agent or dropshipper or self product, what experience is the experience, okay? So that experience shape you as who you are. All right, so that shouldn't be a problem, okay? Next, how to answer an employer when they are looking for solution to their problem where the students are currently fresh graduate. So maksudnya you lacking of experience lah. Contohnya macam mana you nak overcome when mission shut down on the operation department. Alright, so if let's say it gets to, if let's say it gets to technical questions di mana you are not familiarized with that, you can say something like this. You can say, I think now as a newcomers, I will have to look at the problem, and hopefully with my understanding I can find a better solution. But then if let's say you punya fresh grad entry level, dia tak akan tanya soalan on penyelesaian masalah. Dia tak akan tanya mostly dia tak akan tanya soalan mengenai penyelesaian masalah, tetapi if let's say is there's any technical punya soalan, dia akan tanya technical soalan based on your final year project ataupun based on your expertise. Maksudnya you good at certain thing, dia akan tanya you basic question on that, and also dia akan tanya about you punya basic knowledge. Alright, they wouldn't go to the solution kind of question, okay?
Alright, Kerjaya, maaf mengganggu. For our viewers in YouTube, kalau ada soalan, do write your questions in the live chat, and our moderator will inform the question in Google Meet. Thank you.
Okay. Alright, next questions from Luqman Hakim. During Q&A session with the recruiter, is it appropriate to answer in English ataupun English and Malay campur, ataupun seeloknya if BM je, if English je. Alright, so basically you can see the way how you answer. You can see first the way how the recruiter communicate to you. So if let's say the recruiter communicated with you in English, if let's say you are not confident with English, you can say macam ni, kata hi, I just want to clarify that I will try my best to answer in English, but if please pardon my so not so proper English because my native tongue is actually bahasa Melayu. You boleh cakap macam tu, okay? But ataupun you boleh kata hi, would you allow me to answer in bahasa Melayu? And if let's say you tanya macam tu, dia kata okay, and then you jawab je bahasa Melayu, okay? Kat mana-mana tengok recruiter tu punya pemahaman. Tapi usually if let's say you nak campur rojak-rojak sikit bahasa Melayu, boleh je, but make it professional and make it baku. Don't make it like bahasa pasar, alright? Make it proper lah. Alright. So hopefully I answer you punya question, Luqman. Nak Iskandar Suhaimi, I nak tanya tahap mana kemesraan dengan serius dengan interviewer. How far can we go to cheer up the surrounding? Alright, so basically when you have the chance to interview with the recruiter, it doesn't mean that you have to macam, hi, my name is Amalina. No, it doesn't mean that you have to be like that. But you can actually be something macam, hi, my name is Amalina, how are you? You just being friendly. Okay, so if let's say your personality, you are being friendly, dia macam lagi terbuka untuk know you. Dia akan jadi lagi open-minded to know you. But if let's say recruiter tu serious, macam contoh, hi, can I get you? Yeah, please, introduce yourself. And then you pun, kalau dia serious, you pun macam takut, and then you tend to be serious juga. You macam, my name is Amalina, I'm a engineering student. Kalau you macam tu, conversation tu akan dry. If let's say you see someone is serious, someone is sad, someone that you love is sad, takkan you pun nak sedih, nak moody. Mestilah you macam, yeah, hi, what's the problem? Can I know the problem? So you have to be tactful dekat situ. Doesn't mean that you have to try so hard. It's just that you have to be very warm, I would say. You have to be very warm. Okay, but keep it professional. Alright. Who I answer you, Iskandar. Okay, I'm gonna take last question before I go to networking. Tapi kalau you ada soalan mengenai digital interview later, at the end of the session, you can still ask me, okay? Alright, so the next question from Muhammad Nazrin. Saya nak tanya, seperti Miss Amarina cakap, employer nak tahu kita punya personality. Boleh tak bagi tahu personality macam mana yang mereka observe kepada kita? Alright, personality that usually the employers want is actually first your ability to be able to communicate. Communicate tu bukan sahaja you sampaikan message, but also how you receive the message. Alright, how can you communicate? The next one, your personality, are you someone that easy to be taught? Because usually the recruiter ataupun employer, mereka lebih ingin hire untuk fresh graduate yang easy to be taught, yang willing nak belajar, daripada you have the good grades tapi you kind of ada attitude yang macam tak humble sikit. Because kalau I rela ajar candidate yang biasa-biasa tetapi willing to learn daripada candidate yang macam so good but cannot touch. Yeah, because if let's say macam kejadiannya seperti itu, bila saya nak mengajar ataupun saya nak share something, saya akan penat. Because they have their own stand, I have my own stand. So benda tu akan penat. So if let's say you willing to learn but you ada opinion, itu bagus sebab at least dalam masa saya mengajar, if let's say ataupun saya tunjuk, saya guide, but that person dia pun ada macam their own opinion, we can give and take. Okay, there's two ways. Alright. So next, personality macam mana yang observe personality as in would you be fit in the team department, maksudnya you akan boleh jadi good team player tak? So kalau is they said that you macam okay, boleh clean, then that should be fine. Because for me, if let's say I want to get someone with my team, on my team, I akan cari the one yang I know that we can work very well. Because you nak pergi kerja, you nak make sure that your team work very well, because you gonna work with that person for every day. So you don't want to find someone yang tak boleh in, alright? Okay, okay, Aina, can I get to you back later? You punya soalan, okay? So after this, I'm gonna go back to the questions. Kita sambung balik with networking, alright? Is that okay with you guys?
Okay.
Okay, good. Okay, kejap. I have to reply something very urgent. Alright, okay. Next is about networking. Alright, so networking to in landing a job ataupun how can you network with the potential employers in order for you to get a job. Alright, number one, networking is actually establishing a mutual beneficial relationship with business people ataupun with talent. For me, untuk I create relationship with you guys to become your potential acquaintances, and also turn your efforts toward building up yourself and your network of contacts to show your skill that you already possesses. So as the student, you network untuk you mendapatkan pekerjaan, and you network to showcase you punya abilities to the potential employers. Alright, so networking is a stepping stone for you untuk you mendapat pekerjaan. Is also information exchange. Maksudnya dekat situ you dengan that potential employer bertukar maklumat, and also to create the relationship, professional relationship between person A and also person B. Okay, contohnya stepping stone dekat sini, today you haven't graduated yet. Alright, but then today you attend my session. Okay, so stepping stone dekat sini, you know that I have the access to share all the opportunities to you guys. So it is a stepping stone to get to know me in order for you to change information. Maksudnya dekat sini, I ada opportunities that I tahu daripada company Nestle, dan you adalah pelajar yang I cari. Jadi kita exchange information, alright? So daripada situ, kita akan build professional relationship di mana I respect you as a fresh graduate and you want to get something from me. Okay, for me, you guys, I have to attend you guys because you are my job. Basically, I punya job adalah untuk mendapatkan maklumat mengenai career opportunities yang ada dan salurkan kepada you guys. So in order to salurkan, I will need you guys, and you guys as the fresh graduate, you guys need me because you need the job. Okay, so that's the mutual beneficial between the students and also the employer. Alright, so with networking, you can uncover opportunities. Maksudnya dekat situ, you can know what are the things in there for you. Do you guys know that now most of the bank industries are looking for engineering students? Okay, so do you guys know that now most of the accounting firms are looking for engineering students? And do you guys know that there's a reason why engineering students, I know it's not on demand basis, actually over demand with but to be honest, over demand with sometimes yang I baca dan I tengok dia punya gaji tu tak setimpal, okay, because it is over demand. So basically with networking, you can uncover you punya opportunities kat mana yang you boleh pergi, ataupun cabang mana you boleh pergi. Of course, bila you network, it can also improve you punya soft skills, because how you can actually present yourself towards ataupun making impressions towards someone that is, I'm not say higher hierarchy, but someone that is that can actually offer you something that you've been wanting. Alright. Next, further develop area of expertise. Maksudnya dekat sini, kalau you network, bukan saja you network dengan employers, but you can also join macam, you know, macam certain society, electrical engineering society Malaysia dan sebagainya. You can also network to share you punya experience with them. And also increase your visibility. Increase visibility mean, if let's say you berminat untuk bekerja dengan graduan, contoh ya, you berminat untuk bekerja dengan graduan, you selalu attend graduan punya talk, you selalu comment on graduan punya social media, and then you apply job to graduan. Kalau I selalu nampak you as a recruiter, I selalu nampak you interact with us, attend our webinars and whatnot, and I see you apply to me, I would be very interested to go through your resume and also to see whether you will be the perfect fit for the organization. Alright? Okay. So next, how can you network? Alright, so how can you move forward with networking? Number one is listen to be heard. Listen sincerely sincerely what others have to say or what others have to offer. You kena buka you punya minda. So if let's say you want to find the opportunities within the company ABC, you have to listen in order for them to hear you. Alright, so next, number two, hold conversation. Maksudnya dekat sini, when you talk to the employers, pick up key points, paraphrase and ask questions to show your interest. Kadang-kadang when you go to the interview ataupun you go to the networking session, of course lah you want to listen from the expert. Tetapi communication kalau satu hala je, dia akan penat. So you kena buat dua hala. If let's say the expert bagi pendapat, you tanya soalan. Dia bagi pendapat, you tanya soalan. Jadi orang tu lagi berminat untuk bercerita kepada you lah. Alright. So next, when you network with any parties, be aware of your body language and facial expression when you network with others. Maksudnya dekat sini, kena jagalah if let's say something that you don't agree, is normal if you don't agree to something, but don't show it too obvious. Alright. Okay, bring your business card or calling card, exchange it with others. In this case, if let's say you are the resume, they should be fine. Okay, next, agree to disagree. Be respectful to others' opinions and ideas. Maksudnya dekat sini, if let's say something that happened and you punya opinion clash, you don't have to be rude about that and you don't have to win all the time. Okay, sometimes agree to disagree is the best way, because you have opinion, I have opinion. Kalau you rasa opinion you betul, kenapa you tak boleh terima orang lain punya opinion? Okay? Alright, next, things to stop bila you networking. Okay, when you want to speak to the employers, number one, you have to stop apologize when asking for favors. Contohnya, minta maaf Cik Amalina, saya nak tanya, don't apologize, don't be shy when you ask to asking for favors, because it shows lack of professionalism and confidence. Alright, and then if let's say you can attend networking event physically. Usually kalau you pergi networking event physically, dia akan ada makanan dan sebagainya. So do not overindulge self with alcohol or food serve. Alright, so do not gossip, don't talk about others, and also don't talk bad about other companies in the negative light. Same goes to interview. Kalau you dah pergi interview dekat company A, lepas tu you pergi company B, and then don't talk about other company in that session. Okay, jangan gossip, and also don't simply just bring the bad energy or negativity. Alright. Okay, next. This is very important. Do not interrupt when others are talking. So respect others. If let's say you are in one agenda, stay to the agenda. Alright. So if let's say the agenda is finished, if let's say you need to talk, you need to interrupt, then you can interrupt. But if let's say the agenda is not finished yet, or if let's say you have to sorry, you have to convey the message, you can find your ways. You can just text, you can just write or anything. Alright, so next, selfish mindset. Do not go networking with the mindset of what's in it for me. Okay, so kalau you pergi bercakap dengan employers in social media, in LinkedIn profile, virtually ke apa kan, jangan bring the orang kata apa, jangan bring the attitude of okay, sekarang I nak minta kerja, apa you boleh offer dekat I. Don't bring that kind of attitude, because you have to remember that when you go for when you want to go for any opportunity, you kena ingat how can you help others, or how you can actually develop your skills in this particular area. Okay, so you have to be very mindful. It's not everything about you. Alright, and then the competition is so huge. Kalau you nak tunggu something special coming to your way, memang lambat lagi you nak dapat kerja. Alright, but then if let's say you come with the attitude, how can I improve, how can I contribute to the position or whatnot, inshallah you will secure the job easily, because you have the right attitude. Alright, okay, so basically, networking online is where you can leverage your online persona. Alright, so engage with professionals on social media platform, especially now with the pandemic. Virtual platform is all we got. Alright, you can actually network in LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook groups, and also you can also communicate in Instagram. Alright, okay, connect with other professionals. Spend time improving your profiles. Improving your profiles ni, if let's say you tak ada LinkedIn, this is the time for you to do LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very, very, very important tool in order to fresh grad, to find jobs, and order to you to create your punya profile online. Okay, so make sure your accounts always have the most recent contact and professional information. Alright, so basically, I know now everything is on social media. I know that social media brings money, creates money, and also social media is something that you can express yourself. However, if let's say you want to go on the professional or career side, do not share you punya personal social media macam Instagram or Twitter macam tu. Do not share that. Create one profile, okay, professional profile, which is LinkedIn. Okay, create that. Alright. Okay, next. Mingle with decision maker. Alright, so showing up at events, maksudnya kalau ada job fair, kalau ada training that are related to your field, that shows that you are dedicated and you are willing to learn new skills. Alright, okay, and then dress well, prepare 1 or 2 questions in advance. So maksudnya kalau you attend webinar, make sure that you ada soalan untuk bertanyakan kepada panelis tu. Alright, okay, and then leaving a positive lasting impression can mean the difference between yes or no. Okay, so if let's say you are being positive, you carry the positive attitude, you asking the right questions, that can actually be, orang kata apa, standard for you to know whether you got accepted or not. Alright, tips. Be curious and friendly. Do not assume that just because someone isn't a potential employer, he or she isn't worth including in your network. You can never know. Maksudnya dekat sini, kalau you rasa macam orang tu tak related dengan your course, your background dan sebagainya, you don't want to talk. No, sometimes you will meet at the end of the day, alright? They can also contribute to you, alright? So be respectful, hormat semua orang, and try to be friendly as much as you could, alright? Alright. So diversify your network. Maksudnya dekat sini you can be the members of different organizations and also generation to think differently about issues such as you punya work life integration, entrepreneurship dan sebagainya. Alright. And then increase diversity outside your field as well. Try considering every interaction a potential for professional connection. And then you never know what opportunities for connection might be hiding in your everyday life. Okay. Alright. So next, how you can actually stay connected. Okay, first you can stay connected by just to keep in touch. Okay. Send a brief email if let's say you have the email after you encounter, and also the most important thing is keep in touch, be professional, jangan sombong dan sebagainya. Alright. Okay. Next, start networking before you need it. Maksudnya dekat sini you have untuk fresh graduate, you kena start network because you nak cari kerja. So start sekarang before you in the desperate punya period. Alright. Have a plan. Okay. Have a plan, you nak network mengenai apa benda yang you nak cakap ataupun nak bincangkan. Alright, so forget your personal agenda. Maksudnya dekat sini, sometimes if you ask me personally, I would love to network with Bibi Yusof because I think she brings a great leaders as a woman icon dan sebagainya. Tetapi I understand as much as I'm such a fan, I will have to forget my personal agenda because I am here to follow dia punya step lead. Alright. Alright, next, never dismiss anyone as unimportant. Maksudnya dekat sini kalau you rasa they are not the big boss dan apa sebagainya, jangan dismiss or jangan be disrespect. Listen to them as well because they are the gatekeeper for you to meet you punya real potential employer. Alright. Okay. So that's about network. Network ni sebenarnya more into you punya communication, how you actually articulate yourself and how actually you put yourself forward to the employers. So there's a certain way that you can network. Okay, then the place that you can network is actually happening next month. I think after this, I can share this information with Dr. Fahmi, and Dr. Fahmi I can share with you guys. Alright, so the next event that you can network is actually at a career fair, alright, job fair. Which is our career fair, Graduan Aspire. So Graduan Aspire is actually a career fair that is happening on 9 to 12 July. Maksudnya exactly next month. Okay, so dekat sini you can attend webinar, you can chat with the employers, and you can also have on the spot virtual interviews. Not only that, you can actually apply to jobs and you can actually get into the meeting rooms to see and also to network with other peers as well. Alright. So what to expect? Dekat sini ada webinar, and then you boleh apply for jobs, you can network, and also you can stand a chance to get interview on the spot virtually. So kalau you nak cari kerja ataupun nak cari internship placement, you should go to this fair. Alright. So the most important is here are the company. Okay, here's the companies that will be joining the fair. For you guys, that's a lot. Okay, you boleh nampak dekat sini. Dell, Malaysia Airport, Nestle, TM, and then you can see here. Alright, so you can see here ada BAT, British American Tobacco, ada Experience, Samsung, Setia, 7W Oz, Top Glove. There's a lot. I think there's betul-betul banyak company that related to your background. Alright, so there's a lot of company, Honda, Micron pun ada, Roche pun ada. So these are the companies that looking forward to hire a candidate or a fresh graduates like you guys. Okay, so what you should do after this, if you are interested to this event, you are interested to network, and also you are interested to secure a job, to find a job, and also to stand a chance to get network virtual interview, you just go to graduan.com/aspire. Alright. Okay, tadi korang tak nampak ke I share screen?
Kan ada tutup tadi.
Sorry?
Ingatkan Miss Amarina memang tutup kan tadi the presentation.
Oh, but just now you guys can see kan?
Tadi ada.
Yes, just now we could see your screen.
Okay, yeah, you can see all the employers, right?
Right now, is it now? Are you
Bukan
sharing your
tadi.
screen now?
Tadi.
Tadi yes.
Tadi ada kan? Alright. So now I tak share dah. Alright. Okay. So if let's say you want to go, this is the link that ada graduan.com/aspire. You can just go to the website. I letak dekat chat box and then you can register to the event. Alright. So now I understand that for most of you guys, including myself actually, we are in this uncertainties of pandemic di mana we are dying to secure our jobs and find the best opportunities that we have. Alright. So as a fresh graduate, this one I just want to share. For a fresh graduate, for me, try your best to find you punya job that is equivalent untuk you punya degree holder, because you are a degree holder, alright? So find the jobs that match your passion, find the jobs that you tak sia-sia lah orang kata belajar 3-4 tahun. Find the jobs that give you that kind of value, alright? So if let's say in the meantime you are having difficulties in finding job dan sebagainya, if let's say you want to leverage more on social media, you want to be the social
Start.
Sorry?
I'm sorry.
Okay, tak
My
apa.
bad.
So you want to be the Instagram punya celebrity or whatnot, you can be that. Okay, so if let's say that's your passion, you can be that. But be very mindful that the industry is a little bit I would say fragile. Semua industri tengah fragile. But if let's say you want to find any job, find something that you know that you can do this for a long term punya run. Okay? Alright. Next, okay, for a fresh graduate, how many should you request for your gaji? What is your best average salary? Alright, so for a fresh graduate, for a diploma holder, biasanya you punya average salary is between you patut dapat at least 1,600 hingga 1,800. Ini untuk diploma, okay? But untuk bachelor degree, you are entitled at least 2,400 at least. Okay, so if let's say you are going to interview session, sometimes macam it's not matching you punya qualifications and it's not matching you punya targeted salary, you can always negotiate with the employers depending on you punya lepasan lah, maksudnya you punya kelulusan. Alright, so now before I pass to Miss Priya, I'm gonna open for Q&A session and I'm gonna proceed with Aina. Alright. So kalau you guys ada soalan, you can just buzz me ataupun you can just drop your questions dekat chat box, because at least everyone will have the opportunities to share with me, and also the opinion that I'm giving to you is not biased and it's not judgmental. Contohnya dekat sini, kalau you tak selesa nak tanya soalan tu kat mana-mana, you tanya hari ni dekat I can actually help you to figure out what can we do best with your inquiries, okay? Alright, so Aina punya question, if interviewer asks, do you have any working experience, and the answer is no, how can I describe it and make it sound positive? Alright, so if let's say the interviewer asks, do you have any working experience, and you don't have any, you can say something like this. As a fresh graduate, I think I do not have the working experience related to this industry or related to this position. However, I am someone that is willing to learn, and I know that with all the informations and also education that I had during my degree time, I can leverage that in this position. If let's say you ask me, is there any working experience even though that is not related to the field, I would say yes, I did, I have. If let's say you pernah kerja as a Starbucks barista ke apa, you boleh cerita lah. Okay, you kata, but this one is totally not related. However, I am so passionate and I'm interested to gain my knowledge at your company. If let's say you consider to take me as your candidate, as your employee, okay? So you boleh jawab macam tu. You boleh jawab macam I tak ada, tapi kalau you bagi I peluang, insyaAllah I boleh. You have to jawab yang macam I'm there for you. Okay? Jawab something like that. Alright. Hafizi Pauzi, how can I make the most of networking if let's say I'm not good with people? Okay, so basically I think you are saying that you are not a very people person. People person tu maksudnya you are not friendly and maybe you are socially awkward. Alright. So if let's say you are afraid of networking physically, you can actually network with this employer virtually, because virtually you don't have to meet them. What you need to do is you just have to ask questions, questions yang betul, questions yang tepat and questions yang memberi idea dan akal fikiran. Smart question I would say. Alright. So what you need to do is just Google what are the right question to ask during networking, and dekat situ you can make the impression without even have to literally talk to people. Okay. But sebab when you go to networking dekat LinkedIn, you go to Careerfast dan sebagainya, semua benda tu you boleh type. Okay, you can just express yourself by writing. So it's a little bit advantage to you. Okay, but if let's say you are not a people person, you can actually work on that. You can read more about how you can improve you punya speaking skills, how you can improve more on your communication skill, and how you can boost up your confidence. Okay, next you can also think about you punya strength and weaknesses. Apa yang you suka dan you bagus, and apa yang you boleh improve. So yang mana you boleh improve tu, you try untuk improvekan. Alright. Okay, question from Anis Hazira. May I know how does a recruiter did his or her work? How does selecting employee work? Alright, macam ni. I think I faham soalan you kot. Okay, so basically a recruiter, each of the companies, they have their own recruiter. Recruiter falls under HR. So maksudnya dekat sini, once you apply for the job, okay, you apply for the job, recruiter are the ones yang akan go through with your application, okay, go through with the resumes, and if let's say you are the fit, I mean you one of the candidate that fit for the position, they will schedule the interview with you to know about your punya basic, orang kata apa, to screen you punya basic understanding, basic qualification dan sebagainya. Okay, so recruiter adalah someone yang dia adalah orang pertama yang akan go through you punya resume and also to screen you. Okay, so after that process, after you go for the interview, the recruiter meet you and dia rasa macam you cukup position untuk, you know, for fit for the position, usually recruiter akan shortlisted all the candidates yang layak dan mereka akan paskan you punya session next interview level with the hiring manager ataupun with the HOD of the department. So bila you go to the HOD, that's where the question will get more technical because that's dia punya expert. Okay, so maksud saya HR and saya interview awak untuk, you know, macam production engineer contohnya. Okay, so after saya rasa awak layak, saya akan pergi production engineer, saya akan kata okay, this is the candidates, please if let's say you want me to schedule you punya interview, let me know, I will schedule the interview for you. Alright. Okay. Alright. Next. A question from Charles. How do we deal with situation where the employer give you a positions that you don't want? Alright, so basically if let's say you got offered with positions that you are not actually looking forward to it, you can actually think there's two ways. It's either for you to simply reject, close your mindset, or you can actually see which of the ways that you can fit into the position, what can you do more. Because usually when the employer give you something that is not related to what you want, they are seeing a potential that you haven't seen yet. Maksudnya dia nampak potential you yang you tak tahu you ada. So that's why lah they offer you to a positions that maybe it's not something that you want. Okay, and you can also ask for the feedback. Can I know what makes you what's trigger your decision for you to offer me with this position? What do you think that I can contribute and what do you think that I can improve? Okay, so you ask, bila you dapat that kind of feedback, then you can actually think whether you want to proceed or not to proceed. But also if let's say that position is not something you really familiar, you have to set your expectation. You boleh cakap it's not that I don't want this position, but it's just that I am not fully equipped with the background in this area. Okay, so set the expectation so that they know how they can move forward with you. Alright. Okay. Oh, anyway, we have Priya here from Nestle. Hi Priya, welcome.
Hello, hi Amelina. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So we have a lot of students here, but also we have some of them watching from YouTube Live. So if let's say is there's
Okay.
any question from YouTube Live, they are the community members will paste the copy and paste the question in the chat box. All right. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Okay, I think some of the question maybe Priya can answer that because Priya is the recruiter from Nestle. Is the giant organizations that we know for the longest time. Is even Nestle, I think even older than me. All right, obviously. Okay, so why not we just give the floor to Priya. Priya can proceed first, and then we can come back to the Q&A later to see the insights from Nestle and also from Graduan. Okay, so Priya, you ready?
Sure, Ken. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Amelina, for this. And hello, everybody. A very good afternoon to all of you guys, UITM students. Hope you guys are doing great. And it's a very interesting topic that Amelina had for you today related to digital interview and networking. So I'm just here to maybe share one or two pointers or my point of view on this topic, as well as for some of you guys who may not be very familiar with Nestle. I also want to take this opportunity to introduce you guys to Nestle, share a bit more about Nestle, what do we offer for youth, and what are some of our most recent opportunities. So if you aspire to join Nestle someday or even in the near future, then you can take note of this and even look out for our career pages and website to sign up for it. Okay, so maybe let me share my screen first.
Okay, can Priya.
Let me know once you guys can see.
Kan boleh. Kan.
Boleh ya? Alright, okay, great. So just firstly, in terms of digital interviews, I mean, today a lot of organization are still working from home or adopting to the virtual working context. So similarly to Nestle, for our head office employees, we are all working from home at the moment. And fortunately, because we also fall under the essential goods category, so we are allowed to our manufacturing sites or the factory are allowed to operate. So we have a slightly of a mixed work arrangement, I would say. The head office ones are working from home and only go to office as and when required. And the factory team members are very working very hard on the floor, on the ground, but also at the same time, they have a certain shift pattern that they will be following to ensure that all the SOPs are followed. So in this context, especially for the head office candidates or employees that we're recruiting for, most of our interview process are on a digital format. And looking at how ways things are going, even for our internship as well as our management trainee program, we are most likely going to adopt this method of selection process. So maybe just my pointer as from a recruiter's perspective on what is good for you guys to take note when it comes to digital interview is firstly in terms of the etiquettes that we should remain in a way despite being a virtual format. So for example, when it comes to an interview session, you would of course dress formally and try to look professional when you're attending that session. And similarly, for a digital interview, I would encourage for you to do the same. Although you will be from a different location or joining virtually, and probably only face up can be seen, but appearing professional and formal for the session would be something that would showcase the interview to the interviewers that you are in a way taking this seriously and ready for it. So that is one thing that you should take note. And when it comes to technicalities, we all know connection is not always on our side. So today it might be working well. We can do as many tests as we want before the session, but when it comes to the actual session, there's a high possibility that things may not go as planned. So what is important is for you to firstly do at least one or two tests before to see, okay, I know how to log into the call, right? Because different platforms work differently. And just make sure that your sound is tested well. Maybe there's no echo and your video is clear in terms of your background. There is no distractions, and you should be ready for the session. Now, during the session, if you experience any connection issues or so, don't panic, don't worry. Try to log off and log in in again, you can do that probably once or twice. And if you feel like still it's not successful, not clear, then you can just drop a note to the recruiter, the person in charge that you are dealing with, to say that I'm unfortunately the connection is really poor on my end. Can we reschedule, or can we then move to another platform? So do not hesitate at all, and do take this, I would say, in very patiently, and don't panic. That's most important, because how you respond in this kind of situation also gives the interviewer an idea on how you can manage things, that is suddenly thrown to you or happens to you. Okay. And again, one important rule of interview, let it be face to face or even virtual, prepare your questions for the session. So do your research about the role, understand your role, and at the same time, at the end of the session, make sure you have at least one or two questions to ask. This is not for the sake of just asking a question, but actually coming up with a really a value adding question that will show the interviewers how interested are you in this position, and how eager are you to take this on and join the organization. It can be any questions that you want to ask, either about the role itself. If you're not clear, then that is the best time to ask. If you want to clarify on the KPIs that you will have to carry as part of this position, that's a very important question that you can ask. Or even in terms of the organization, so what's the organization culture? What is the expected employee behaviors in the company? So these are some of the questions that you can think of when you are going for an interview session to ask, in case you couldn't think of any other question, because asking question is very important. It shows also how much you are interested about the role as well as about the company. Okay, so that's just a few tips from my side about a digital interview. Now, allow me to also take this time to show walk you through a little bit about inside the nest, we call it, or talk to you a bit more about Nestle Malaysia. So Nestle Malaysia, if you guys have heard before, we've been operating in Malaysia since 1912, and in Malaysia we operate across one head office and six factories. So before this, our head office used to be in Mutiara Damansara near to IKEA, but we have recently moved, and we have moved not too far away, still within the Bandar Utama area, and now our head office is at one powerhouse. And we also produce products locally across our six factories. So we have three factory in Shah Alam area that produces our Nescafe range, coffee made, even our plant-based meal solution. So this is our new plant that we have introduced, and a new segment that Nestle has ventured into, which is plant-based meal. So if you haven't heard of this, do look out for Harvest Gourmet. So these products are branded under Harvest Gourmet, and it comes in forms of patties, burger patties, and other forms of chicken and beef as well, but it's all plant-based meal, so do check them out. And right next to our Shalam factory, we have our Batu Tiga factory that produces all Maggi products. So our Maggi 2-minute noodle, Maggi Hot Wheels or Hot Cup, as well as our culinary sauces, all the Maggi range is produced in our Batu Tiga factory. And right next to Batu Tiga is our RTD or Sri Muda factory. So that Sri Muda factory is a highly automated factory and produces all our ready-to-go drinks. So our UHT pack, our Milo bottle, the tiny bottles, and even the 500 ml bottle are all produced in our Sri Muda RTD factory. And we have two factories in Negeri Sembilan, Chembong. So in Negeri Sembilan, we produce our Milo product. So Milo is a very big business for Nestle in Malaysia. And although it was, generated or originated in Australia, the brand or the product was very well accepted in Malaysia. Hence why we also have the biggest Milo plant in the world in Malaysia, which is our Chembong factory. And this factory also produces our Kit Kat range. And right next to Chembong complex, we call it, is our Chembong ice cream factory. So this ice cream factory completely produces our ice cream product range. And we also have the final six factory, which is in Kuching, that produces a combination of this product. So being a company that produces close to 500 halal products, we are also known as the Halal Center of Excellence for the Nestle world. And a lot of our products that is produced in Malaysia is actually exported to other Nestle markets that is in need of halal products. And a fun fact to share with you guys, 9 million cups of Milo is being consumed on a daily basis. And this Milo is not only catered to kids, but we also see a great deal of consumers that is hitting the youth and also the adult segment. So if among us today there's some of you guys who have consumed Milo, so good for you. I'm sure some of you guys have moved on to coffee as we step into university, but I still hope that we do have some Milo lovers among us. Okay, so we have been operating in Malaysia for 109 years, providing nutritious food to Malaysians, and all employees at Nestle are very eager and geared towards achieving our common purpose, which is unlocking the power of food to enhance quality of life for everyone today as well as generations to come. So that is our purpose statement that we are motivated and we drive working towards. And just for some of you guys to know, maybe you may not be aware of some of the brands that we carry under Nestle, because we are so familiar or very used to hearing Nestle. Sometimes we may not know what are the brands that actually Nestle Malaysia carries. So these are some of the brands that we have here in Malaysia. So the famous Maggi, Milo, Nescafe, Kit Kat, Nestum, Everyday Milk. So these are some common brands that you would hear. And apart from that, we also have so for example, Nescafe Dolce Gusto as well as Nespresso. So for coffee lovers, you would know this is our premium coffee range. So it comes in coffee capsules format, and we also have coffee machines for you to use these coffee capsules in. So that's a little bit about the coffee range that we have. And when it comes to ice cream, you would have heard of La Cremeria, Mud Cool. Those are some range that we have. And when it comes to milk, so for adult milk, we have Everyday, we have Omega. And for targeted adult consumers that may need extra sort of food supplements if they are on medication or if they need liquid food, then we also have our Nutrin, which is our Nestle Health Sciences range. And we also have infant formula. So Nan Kid, Lacto Grow, and also Wyatt is our infant formula range. And we have Nestle Cerelac, which is cereals for infants. And apart from that, we also have our food services business unit. So that's Nestle Professional. So what food services is that we cater to our Horeca channel. So that means hotel, restaurants, and catering businesses. And how is this different is that some of these product range that I mentioned, like Maggi, Milo, Nescafe, they will be sold in larger packs to these customers who are actually business owners. So probably the Milo will be like those 10 kg packet. Those kind of packet you will not be able to see it in normal hyper and supermarket that targets the normal consumers, but it's only sold by our Nestle Professional team to the Horeca customers. So that is branded under Nestle Professional. So these are some of the brands that we carry in Nestle Malaysia. Now, apart from providing nutritious food for our consumers, we also take a lot of pride in our Nestle Cares initiative. So, Nestle Cares initiative is basically initiative by the organization in the area of CSV. So, what we do for individuals and families and even communities out there, as well as playing our part for the planet. So, just to share with you guys some of the most recent initiative that we have been part of is the Nestle Relief project or program. So if you have heard of this, we pledge to plant at least 1 million tree by the year of 2020, and we successfully achieved that goal. So what we have now done is we have re-pledged to plant another 3 million trees by the year of 2023. And all employees at Nestle are actually very involved in this program as well. So some of the selected employees are given seedlings at the moment for us to take care of it. And when the time is right, we and hopefully given things get better with MCO, we will then step out to selected locations in the country to have this tree plantation activity to ultimately achieve our goal. So this is one of the initiatives that we are strongly embarking on. And besides that, especially given the time now, you would see a lot of organizations are really working together in the area of sustainability. And what we have done at Nestle sometime last year is also to take one of our first initiatives live. So when it comes to our UHT pack that you see, we provide straws for consumers to drink the UHT drink, and a study showed us that these straws, by eliminating these plastic straws, we can reduce close to 200 million plastic straws a year. So our first initiative towards this was to convert all our plastic straws to recyclable straws, and we were successful in rolling this out. And what we have also further pledged is to convert all our packaging materials to 100% recyclable materials by the year of 2025. So all the different brands that I mentioned earlier are actually working towards this direction. And today, as we speak, a lot of initiative is being done to look into this conversion. So we are successful in achieving our goal by 2025. Right. And apart from that, we are very pleased and humble to share that we've been recognized in the area of people, brands, as well as businesses. So specifically focusing on people, we have been a part of Graduan Brands Award for quite a number of years now. And under Malaysia's 100 leading graduate employer, we have been fortunate enough to be voted as the winner of FMCG sector for past consecutive years. And just in sometime last week, we've also been the winner, first runner up for Randstad's most preferred employer to work for in Malaysia for 2021. So we are really pleased with this recognition that came from all our audience and our participants and talents out there. And we continuously aim to provide all the career opportunities that we can provide for talents who are keen to join Nestle. All right, so that's a little bit about Nestle Malaysia and our operations. I would also like to take this opportunity because among our participants today, we might have some of you guys who are interested to join us through the graduate trainee program that we have, or any graduate opportunities. So firstly, allow me to share with you about the Nestle Malaysia Management Trainee Program. So this is actually our Future Leaders program, and this program has been around in Nestle Malaysia for more than 30 years. We have a lot of senior leaders or even managers and leaders in the current organization that came through this program. So it's a program that is really close to our heart. And application for 2021 is already open. So we always get a lot of questions from candidates on what's the selection process like, how long does it take. So for management trainee program, there is a comprehensive selection process in place. So you will firstly have to submit your online application, which involve online assessment and a short video interview. And once you've completed that, you will be invited for a case study discussion. And if you are shortlisted further from the case study session, you will be invited for a face-to-face and a final interview with the business head. So that's the selection process that we have for the management training program. Application is already now open. So if you're interested, you can head over and apply for it. And we aim to recruit all MTs to join us on board by October of this year. So if you guys are wondering what are the different functions that you can apply for, and how does this program really work? So is it like a trainee program, or is it just training, or is it a permanent job? So basically it's called the trainee program, but it's actually a permanent job. So when you are selected or shortlisted into the program, you will be given a offer letter, and your benefits will all be like a permanent employee. But it's just for the first 2 years of the program, you will be called the management trainee, because you are going on rotation within the function that you selected. And once you complete this rotation at the end of the second year, then you will graduate from the program, and you will be assigned to a permanent placement where you will get a designated title for that particular position you're joining as. So for example, if your interest area is sales, and you can only apply to one function, and you apply to sales within these 2 years, you'll be going through a rotation within sales. So you'll be going to field sales, you'll be going to trade marketing, e-commerce, key accounts, and also a short stint in marketing to give you a wholesome or overall experience and understanding of that one function that you have selected. And then at the end of 2 years, you can select within those rotations that you have gone for, which is the best for you, and your permanent placement will be there. So I know among us today, we have a lot of engineering students mainly. So I just want to highlight in addition, for our engineering program, we recruit mechanical engineers, we recruit electrical and automation engineers, and even mechatronic engineers. So if you are wondering, if you are coming from this degree and would you have the opportunity to apply for the trainee program, yes, you can. We also recruit chemical engineering students for our production function, which is more related to process line and managing our production lines in the factory. So if you're coming from this engineering background, then definitely do give it a shot and apply for the management trainee program. All right. Next up, I also want to share about the internship program. So among us today, if we have any students who are interested to try out for an internship as part of your university requirement, our Nestle Malaysia internship program is actually open throughout the year, because we follow your internship timeline as set by your university. So you can submit in your application, and highly recommended to submit at least 2 months before your internship start date, so that you can go through the necessary selection and secure a placement in time for your internship date. And the functions that we recruit interns for is similar to the management trainee program that I shared earlier. So we do recruit engineering students for an internship in our manufacturing site, as well as at head office for project basis. Okay. And also for this, before I miss it, it highly recommended that your internship is minimum of 12 weeks, maximum about 6 months. Only then you'll get a very good understanding and hands-on experience into the program and even a particular project, and you get to see it end to end. So best to have an internship duration of that. Now, the next program that we have is Nesternship. So you guys may be wondering, so what's the difference between internship and Nesternship? So basically, Nesternship is our virtual internship program. So for those of you guys who may not be able to do a physical internship, so Nestle internship program is more of a physical internship, meaning you have to be present at site when you're completing your internship. So mainly for engineering students, you guys will be attached to our manufacturing plant, and our manufacturing plants are operating, and to in order for you to be exposed and get a hands-on experience, you have to be present on site. But for those of you guys who want to opt out for a virtual internship, say maybe you're coming from a different state, or given the current situation you will not be able to do a physical internship, so you want to try out something that is on a virtual basis, then you can try out for a Nesternship. Application for Nesternship is also open at the moment. So if you want to read more about Nesternship or even apply for it, head over directly to our social media pages, Nestle Malaysia Careers, and then you can look out for the details and apply for it right away. All right, so that's the end of my presentation. Here on my screen now, you can see all the handles for our different social media pages. So do follow us on these pages to be updated on the different youth-related initiatives and programs that we have, so that you can also join us when you're available too. All right, so that's all from my side, Amalina. Maybe we can see if there are any question among our audience.
Can I think we do have a questions. It's actually from the students that have been watching in YouTube Live, because this session is also on the streaming.
Sure.
All right. So the next question. Okay, since the topic is about digital interview and also networking, one of the questions from the candidate Muhammad Haziq bin Azham: how to negotiate salary before securing the job as a fresh graduate? Do you
All
want?
right, so that's a very interesting question, but yet a tricky one, because when it comes to a negotiation of salary, usually we would experience it more coming from experience or mid-level candidate, mid-level career candidate, because they would already have a range, and they would want to have it some match to their current, or even increase from their current. So when it comes to fresh graduates, I think different opportunities would come with a different salary range, especially if they are considering entry, if it's for an entry level position. So what you can also ask, or on your part, what you can do is do some research on, so currently what's the expected or salary range for a fresh graduate. I think this information is usually catered to online in some of our ministries sites as well, that you can google up and see, okay, for a particular function, what's the entry level position. So this is firstly for your own research. Once you have done that research, right, and when you know you're applying for a job and you have a specific position title, I would say do a search on that title as well, just to see, okay, what's the range that entry level candidates get for this role. Now once you have this information, then it's when you can negotiate further with the recruiter to say, okay, I did some research and I realized for this year the salary band for an entry level candidate is at this, and you're offering me X. So is there any way that we can relook into this package, and any opportunity for an increase to match the current salary band recommended for entry level positions? So that is one way that you can discuss and negotiate. I hope that helps.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So the next questions for Muhammad Faris. I mean, sorry. The question is from Zairi Hakimi from YouTube Live. Can you give an example of the questions that we should ask the recruiter if there's anything that you want to ask? All right. So basically, this is the tips that I have the source about during interview session. So if let's say the interviewer they don't ask you about your salary, they haven't got into anything particular offering you something, try your best to not ask a question, how much do I get? Okay, so that's such a turn off, because you are there is actually for you to contribute to the employer. You are there to actually to leverage your skill and gain as many as knowledge as you could. All right. So there's two different type of questions: the question that you should ask and the question you shouldn't ask. Okay. The question that you should ask is anything related to on how you can contribute to the companies and how you can contribute to the position. For example, if let's say I am offered with the position, is there any training provided? Or you can ask something where, what is your expectations? What is your target during my 3rd until 6 month of probation? Okay. The next question you can ask is also the questions about how does the team work, or how can I get along with the teams, or what are the things that I should be improved, or something like that. Anything related that can contribute to the jobs positions and also to contributing to the company. That's the question that you should ask. The question that you shouldn't ask, number one, if let's say the employer they haven't get to you about the salary, whether you are being offered or not, please try not to go there. Second questions that you shouldn't ask about the benefit, if they haven't opened it up to you, you shouldn't ask about that. But if let's say they are sharing with you on the opportunities and you want to know more, I mean the benefits and whatnot, yes, you can ask totally fine. The next question, you shouldn't ask about how many leave you are entitled, something like that. Anything that more into perks and benefit. If let's say the interviewer starting to open with you, then you can question that, because once the recruiter or the interviewer they are start to negotiate on the benefits, on the salary and whatnot, that means the higher chance for them to actually interested with you, because they are seriously considering you. So once they have considered you, then they want to see what is your expectation and how you guys can negotiate. All right. Okay, so I think the next question is from
Sorry, Amalina, if I could just add on one point there, right, from a recruiter's perspective, like what you mentioned, definitely, I think completely agree with what Amalina shared. And at the same time, so I just want to highlight that it's not necessarily wrong for you to ask that. but like what Amalina said, it can be a turn off when
Yeah.
you are discussing about the role, and when the interviewers have not reached to the end of it, or firstly started to ask if any questions that you would have. The expectations of the interviewers would be to hear from you questions related to the job first. So when automatically candidates talk about the benefit or how many days leave that I would get, it kind of gives a wrong impression and may not be a good impression. Then they may have this impression that, oh, the candidate does not have any questions about the role. They don't want to know anything more about the role, but they are more keen in understanding the benefits first. So it can be a put off at times. So like what Amalina mentioned, you got to see when's the right time to ask this question, and the best would be when they open up the discussion, then you bring that out. So that would be my take as well.
Yeah, all right. So thank you so much, Priya. Okay, the next question is from Cik Nur Zaima. Hi, good afternoon. Hi. If the interviewer asks about working experience, but we only have experience in F&B industry as a part-timer during our semester break, should we tell about that even though that is not related to the job that we applied for? All right. So if let's say the interviewer asking you about the experience, you can say, to be honest, I just graduated on sekian-sekian, like September 2021, for example, and I do not have any particularly experience in these positions and in this industry. If let's say you give me the chance, and if let's say you offer me opportunity to learn, I am sure I would be the best asset to your team because I am a team player. You just sell your skill, all right? But then, if let's say you want to answer the questions with the experience that is not related, you can say something like this. Even though I am not experienced in this particular area, but during my free time when I was studying, I did some part-time job as a barista at Starbucks. During my time as a barista at Starbucks, I learned how to communicate very well, and also I learned how to adapt with the situation, because being a Starbucks, being a barista, you really have to be alert. So that are some skills that I've gained during my working experience, and hopefully I will leverage that in this position. All right. So you take whatever skills that you have gained during your part-time punya job, and then you try to relate with the current positions that you are applying. Memang, to be honest, the job scope is totally different, but what's most important is what you gain during the time, or your skills, and also the benefit, what did you learn, and how you can leverage to the position that you are applying. All right. So, Priya, you want to add on that?
Yeah, no, totally agree with you, Amalina. You're hitting it on point. Really, that's definitely the same that I would recommend.
Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so I think next question is more into you, Priya, from Rafia Datul. Does the management training program have closing date for application, and is the management training program an ongoing program, which means they have batches of recruitment?
Okay, yes, we do have a closing date, and at the moment it's 30th of June. The closing date for the application, it has been open since 31st of May, and for this year we will only have one batch that we are recruiting for. So ultimately, all MTs that we recruit this year will be joining us at one go in October.
Yeah, so I think if let's say you guys are final year students, you still have time to apply now, because you will only start on October. And if I'm not mistaken, you guys should be, if let's say you are final year student, you should be done by September, if I'm not mistaken. So grab this opportunity, all right? Okay, is there any question? Any more question that anyone wants to ask? Use this time because you have Priya, direct recruiter from Nestle. All right. Okay. For digital interview, usually how long do the employer gives the time for the candidates finish the interview? For the duration of the video, are there any limits? How long do the candidate accepted after digital interview? Or will there be another interview need to be done? Okay, some of the last questions I'm not really I'm not getting it. All right. So basically for digital interview, how long does the employee gives the time to candidate to finish the interview? All right. So the interview session is actually a little bit I cannot say it's die 30 minutes. It depends on how you carry the session. But each of the interviewer, they do set aside few slot on your time. For example, if I want to set a time with you, I must finish this within 30 minutes, for example, for one talent. And this session is actually very different on each organization. Sometimes I do that. I do have my own slot, how many minutes that I want to spend with the students. But different company have their own different ways, all right? But then during the time, whichever time that you have, you should be able to express yourself, and you should be able to actually to articulate yourself in a way to make an impression to the employer. All right. So for the duration of the video, are there any limit? How long? If let's say you are saying video interview shouldn't less than 1 minute and 30 seconds, but if let's say there are some recorded, like they give you recorded questions and you have to answer it, it shouldn't be too long because you have to make it compact. Okay. And then the next one, do the candidate accepted after the interview, digital interview, or will be there another interview? Alright, okay, so macam ni, if let's say you have just got accepted for interview session, you go to phase 1 and maybe you will meet later like manager level, mid level on the interview level 2, alright? Some company, they have to how do I say this? They have 2 sessions, 2 interview sessions, 1 and 2, but some companies they have 3 and some companies just 1. It totally different based on the organization and based on the capacity of the company itself. Okay. Right. Okay.
I think the next question, Amalina, if I got it correctly, it's related to the MT program that I mentioned.
Yeah.
The question says, are applicants, if I understand correctly, should they be graduated before the closing date, or if they are finishing in August, can they still apply for it? So yes, you can still apply for it as long as you will be completing your studies before our start date, which is by August, September, you're completing your studies, you can still submit your application in. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions? Yep, no problem, Rafidatul.
Welcome.
Okay, I think we are coming to the end of the program. If let's say you guys don't have any question.
Yeah, I think there are no more questions from YouTube Live or in the chat box anymore. From there, I think our session will be come to an end. Thank you, Miss Almalina and Miss Priya, for your wonderful insight regarding digital interview preparation and networking. The information given today will truly be helpful for our future endeavor. Before we end this wonderful evening, afternoon, pardon, I would like to ask all the students who joined this program to turn on their webcam for a pictorial session.
Hi, Doctor. Dr. Muhammad Fahmi. Okay, so Priya, Dr. Fahmi is the one that have been liaising with me on the career talk. So Doctor, please meet Priya from Nestle.
Hello, hi doctor, good evening.
I think you are on mute, Doctor.
Okay. Hi. Thank you so much, Amalina and Priya. I think you've really hit it off with all the inputs that you've given. I think the students are very, very lucky from your insight. Certainly, I learned something new today, and I hope the rest of you also are the same. So let's take the picture. Yeah.
All right, guys, let's take a picture. For mods, you can go to settings and change your change the layout into tile and put it at maximum capacity so that we can see everyone in the session. So here we go. Let's take a picture in 3, 2, 1. All right. Have you taken the picture, mods?
Everything okay, Charles?
Right, I have taken the picture.
All right, great.
Everything is good.
I hope this will be the first of many future seminars with Graduan, with Nestle, and perhaps even more. This is just a first start. As I said many times to my student, I've worked with Amalina for quite some time on employability, and she has been one of the driving force to increasing the employability of students at my faculty in particular. So a big thank you and special thank you to Priya, who has taken her time to address the students. So again, thank you very much. And I would leave to Charles to close the session.
Sure. Thank you so much for this opportunity as well. It's been really great to speak to UiTM students today, and we've always been looking out to have more engaging sessions with the students. So definitely look forward to engaging with you again in the future.
Okay, thank you so much, Priya, for being here. And also, yeah.
Thank you.
All right. I, Charles Hesley, representing fellow organizers, want to express my gratitude to all who joined this webinar, especially to Graduan, Nestle, UiTM, and from our HEP, Professor Ahmad Asari Sulaiman, and our lecturers who have come and joined us during this session today. I wish all the students who joined today understood well and received all the information given. Hopefully, we will meet again in the future. Thank you all. Please stay at home and stay safe, everyone. Thank you.
Wait. About staying at home and stay safe. You guys, if let's say you haven't get vaccinated, and if let's say you are waiting for your turn to get vaccinated, please stay at home. Please stay safe. It happened to me actually only like over the weekend. So basically, my personal experience, I already got my vaccine. So I'm vaccinated for I think for 2 weeks, 3 weeks now. And then two of my closest friends, they were tested positive, and we are staying at the same house. We are staying at the same house. So two of them tested positive. I am the only person yang negative, even though we shared meal, we shared cup, and then we shared our food. So basically, it's very I think amazed how it works, because looking at the situation, if I'm not vaccinated, I can still get affected. But however, if let's say you're staying at home, you wait your line to get vaccinated, you take your vaccine, inshallah you'll be just fine. Okay, so take your vaccine, take the safety precaution, because I was just amazed on how it works, and literally I am the only person yang negative. So stay negative, all right? Not stay positive, not stay negative, right? So yeah, stay safe. But just go get your vaccine, all right? Okay, bye. Thank you. Have a nice day.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you, Miss Amalina.
Thank you.